everyone, it's your girl Charnel. Welcome back to my channel. It feels so good to be recording again. There have been so many life changes, and so I am here to drop the tea before we get back into our regular content. I'm going to start off by talking about my therapy practice and where we're at. And so if you have been following me for a while, you know that I started off my practice as a solo practitioner, my own business, and then I grew it into a group practice. It is currently still a group practice right now. And this is actually going to be year 5 of me having my own business. And it's been just over 2 years since it's been a group practice rather than me just working on my own independently. Now, I really wanted to document a lot of the process of me growing a group practice. However, I found myself just being on the computer a lot, given that my practice is online. And so I didn't really know how to show up in that space, just showing you just me working on a computer. And in addition to that, I found myself experiencing a lot of challenges with my journey of having a group practice. And so whenever I did sit down to talk about what was going on, I found myself complaining, and I didn't want to show up on YouTube from that space, from that mental state. I didn't find, whenever I was sharing the information of me complaining, I didn't find it to be helpful. I didn't find it to be productive. And so now that I'm kind of out of that space, although there are still challenges that do come up in my group practice, now that I'm not so deep and burrowed into it, I find that I can be more helpful with the feedback and the reflections that I've had since I've had a group practice for the past 2 years and a bit. So I will be sharing information about group practices, pros and cons, all that kind of stuff. I did start in my last video, if you guys want to check that out, kind of where I was at that point, just under a year ago. So if you want to check that out, you can. But moving forward, I will be talking a lot more about group practice and the direction that I want to go in and all of that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. I really cannot believe that I am approaching 5 years since being in my own business. It is crazy. I used to talk about this whenever I worked at other companies with my colleagues, I'm not always gonna be working for someone, I'm gonna be working myself. And the fact that it's almost been 5 years is crazy. Now, if you watched my last video and have been following me on Instagram, then you know I am a new mom. And my baby boy, he just turned 3 months, and it's honestly been an amazing 3 months. I really, really love this position that I'm in. I am currently on maternity leave, and I created this long spiel on Instagram about my maternity leave and the experiences that I had just transitioning from seeing clients at that time to no longer seeing clients because I am on leave. So if you're interested in seeing that, check that out on my Instagram. But honestly, I'm very grateful of the position that I'm in, where I'm able to take a year off as an entrepreneur and still just do my thing. My group practice is still running. I do have systems and people in place to support with the running of my business while I take time off. And so I did, as I mentioned, take 3 months off prior to my baby arriving, just so I still had me time. I can get things ready for him, and I could just remember what it was like to be independent and not necessarily have someone that's dependent on me, and just be in my own space prior to becoming a mom, because I knew my life would change, and it definitely has, in a great way, but in a very tiring and a very different way than when I wasn't necessarily a mom. And so I'm so happy that I was able to take off those 3 months prior. And so I plan to go back to work in the later part of this year, or I might start a bit earlier, in summer, just ease my way into it by seeing clients again, and then going full throttle in the final quarter of this year. It's just so crazy to know that I'm in a position now where I am a full-on entrepreneur, business owner, and I'm still able to take time off for my business while things continue to run. And so I will be making a video on how to take a maternity leave as an entrepreneur. So if you're interested in that, comment below and let me know so I could push that video a bit earlier. And if there's no interest, then I might not drop it. But that is something that I'm very proud of myself about, and I'm happy that I'm able to just have this dedicated time to be with my son while things in business is still going. Now, I do anticipate the structure of my business changing in the future, and I will be sharing those changes in future videos as well. Just given the season of my life that I'm in knowing that I am a new mom, knowing that I'm responsible for developing a whole human being. There are just some changes and things that I want to prioritize differently than I have been when I wasn't necessarily a mother. In addition to that, I found that being a mom, I don't necessarily have as much time for myself, especially because I choose to exclusively breastfeed. And so in January, I was just reflecting like, wow, I feel like I wasn't productive. And that's obviously not true because I've been growing a whole human being. But it just reminded me as I was reflecting on January that I have to give myself grace in this season. But with that also comes changes on my channel. And so I will continue definitely to drop the therapist related content because that is my career. That is what I do. That is what I do for a living. That is who I am, part of who I am. But I do feel like I want to drop a bit of mother stuff related content into my channel. So if that is something that you're interested in as well, let me know because I am always interested in knowing where your guys' mind is at, if you're interested in it or not. But for me and my own sanity and just for me to share parts of my world that I'm really excited about and that I love, I do feel like I will be integrating a bit more of the motherhood journey that I'm on as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Motherhood and business related stuff, where I'm at in terms of therapy. That's kind of like my life update. That's what I want to share before coming back and dropping a day in the life video. And yeah, comment below. Let me know what kind of content you're interested in seeing from me. And I just feel happy that I'm recording again, that I get to connect with y'all again. And I hope y'all are doing well as well. That is it for me today. I will catch y'all in my next video. Deuces.